My dear students, we have seen almost everything in index number. It is a time for revision. We shall work out a few more sums of 5 marks and 2 or 3 marks too, and later we will go through the exercise 1, and that will help you to prepare well for this chapter. Let us see illustration number 23. Here we are asked to find out the real wages and the purchasing power of money in a particular illustration. Let us see how the question is given. Year 2010, 11, 12 and 13 up to 15 are given. Also, what is given? Average monthly wage, cost of living index number. These two things are available. Now, monthly wage, average monthly wage is given. That is not the real wage. So, real average monthly wage we have to find out. Real average monthly wage or real wage implies monthly wage divided by cost of living index number multiplied by 100. So it is in connection with the cost of living index number that we get the real wages. So let us see how it is done. Calculation of a real wage. Real wage is equal to average monthly wage, which is given here, and divided by cost of living index number, that's also given, and multiplied by 100. Then you will get the real wage. So we have to make a separate table for this and work out it. Excuse me. Let us see how it is done. We are given average monthly wage for the year 2010 up to 2015. Then cost of living index number is also available. So we have to just apply the formula, which is real wage is equal to average monthly wage divided by cost of living index number into 100. So when you work out it, you will get for all the different years the real wage. Okay, so see the relation. Wage is 15,000 in the first year, but average wage, real wage is 7,812. That is in connection with the cost of living index number. So compared to the base year, in the year 2010, the purchasing power has gone down. That is why it is having a lower value as a real wage. The purchasing power of money is the reciprocal of the cost of living index number of the current year with the respective base year. Okay, current years, if you want, it is the reciprocal. So we can say that the purchasing power of money in the year 2015 with the base year 2001 is 100 upon 287. That means the formula is 1 upon cost of living index number into 100. So it is 1 into 100, 100 upon 287. Hence, and the answer is 0.35. Hence, it can be said that if the unit of money is rupee, then the value of rupee in the year 2005 with respect to the base year 2001 is 35 paise. That means if you have 1 rupee in 2001, then that would be having only 35 paise value in 2015. That is the implication. Thus, although the actual average monthly wage of the workers of the class of the year 2015 is more than the base year 2001, the real disposable wage in the year 2015 is only 6968.64 with respect to the base year. So that is 6968.64. That is for the year 2015. So if you get 1 rupee in 2015 compared to 2010, that has got only 35 paises value. So that is what is asked here, and we have got the answer. Now let us go through some short questions. Answer the following questions. The price of wheat was 1,600 rupees per quintal in the year 2014, and it was 1800 rupees per quintal in the year 2015. Find the price index number of wheat for the year 2015 with the base year 2014 and interpret it. So here what has happened, wheat price has gone up from 1600 rupees to 1800 rupees, okay, from 2014 to 15. So we are asked to find the index number of wheat for the year 2015 with the base year 2014. So price index number of wheat for the year 2015 is I is equal to P1 upon P0 into 100. P1 is 1800 divided by 1600 P0 multiplied by 100. So 112.5 is the index number, and that means 12.5% increase is there in the price of wheat, okay, in 2015 as compared to the year 2014. So that is the question here. So interpretation is this, that 12.5% increase is there in the price of wheat in 2015 as compared to the base year. Okay, now next one, the last piece index number is 8 by 9 times that of the Fisher's index number. If the Fisher's index number is 180, find the Parshall's index number. Okay, so we are given some relations. Last year's index number is 8 by 9 times of Fisher's, and Fisher's index number is also given to us. So IL is equal to 8 by 9 into IF, okay, and that means IL is equal to 8 by 9 into 180, that is 160. So IL we got 8 by 9 of 1800. Now IF is equal to square root of IL into IP, that formula you know. IF is equal to IL into IP. Now IF is already given, or already we have, so 180 is equal to 160 which I have located into IP. So to remove the brackets, we square the left hand side value. 180 square is equal to 160 into IP. So we get it as a 180 into 180 upon 160, that is 202.5. So we got the value here, okay. Next one, the production of an item in the year 2015 has increased by 3 times the production of the base year. Find the index number of production for the year 2015. So production has increased to 3 times compared to the base year, right? And therefore production index number of 2015 is equal to index number of base year plus increase in the index number of current year. That means index number base year is equal to 100 only, and now 3 times it has increased. So 3 into 100, that is 300. So base year is already 100 plus 300, that is equal to 400. So please take it as an important question. So when you are given a percentage fold or a particular fold of increase in the in one of the variables or any index number, then we can locate it, the new one, by adding to the base year the difference, okay. So that is 400. Now fourth question here is, if sigma P1 Q0 is to sigma P0 Q0 is 3:2, that's a ratio, the relation is given, and sigma P1 Q1 is to sigma P0 Q1 is 5:3. Find IL, IP and IF. So we have a ratio given here. Therefore what we do, sigma P1 upon P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 is 3/2, okay, and sigma P1 Q0 upon P0 Q0 into 100 is the formula for IL. So we can say IL is equal to sigma P1 Q0 upon P0 Q0 into 100, which is equal to 3/2 into 100, it is 150, okay. Now IP formula also we know, that is sigma P1 upon Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. So we are given that value here as 5/3, which is multiplied by 100, and we get 166.67. And since IL and IP are available, we can find out IF, which is the square root of IL into IP. So just multiply it and find the square root, we will get 158.12. Okay, so that's the value. Next one, if the average monthly disposable income of middle class families in the year 2014 is rupees 14,400 into the cost of living index number for the year 2015 with the base year 2014 is 115, then estimate the average monthly disposable income of these families in the year 2015. So average monthly disposable income of 2014 is given, cost of living index number also is given, then we are asked to find out the disposable income of 2015. That means how much the family can spend in 2015 if they want to maintain the same standard of living. That is the implication here. So we know that the cost of living index number for the year for 2015 with the base year 2014 is 115. That means 2014 is 100, so that has become 115 in the next year. That means 15% is the increase. Okay, and therefore monthly disbursement also should increase accordingly. So 14,400 is the base year income plus 14,400 into 15 by 100, that is equal to 2,160. So 16,560 rupees if they get as income, they are in the same position to spend it on things to have the same standard of living. So the monthly disposable income of these families is how much? 16,560 in the year 2050. Okay, now we are given another question. If the cost of living index number of the current year has increased to 180 from the base year index number of 100, and if the average income of workers has increased from 6,000 rupees to 9,000, is there an increase or decrease in the purchasing power of the workers? How much is it? Here what are we given? Cost of index number of current year as well as base year is given. It is actually how has increased to 180. That means current year's cost of living is 180, base year it is 100. Current base year income is 6,000 rupees and current year income is 9,000. Will it be sufficient for the family? That is the question. So average income here again we will calculate as a 6,000 plus 6,000 into 80, because you know why 80? 180 is the new cost of living index number of current year, which was 100 earlier. So 80 rupees, 80 is the difference. So that 80% should be there in the income also. So 6,000 plus 4,800, 10,800 rupees is the income required. Hence the average income of the workers should be 10,800, but the average income of the workers is given to be 9,000 only. So that means 1,800 rupees is short. Okay, hence it can be said that there is a decline in their purchasing power. So if the workers get 10,800 rupees, their purchasing power will be okay, but otherwise they will not be able to buy the things. Okay, now we have one or two questions more. Let us see number 8. If the number 7 in fact, the wholesale price index numbers of the year 2015 and 16 are found to be 15%, 150.2 and 165.7 respectively. What is given? Wholesale price index numbers. So 2 years are given. Find the rate of inflation using index numbers of both the years. Actually, we have seen this formula, rate of inflation, earlier in a page number 5. Okay, while discussing types of index numbers here. Rate of inflation formula is wholesale price index number of current year minus wholesale price index number of previous year upon wholesale price index number of previous year into 100. Okay, see the formula once again. Rate of inflation is equal to wholesale price index number of current year minus wholesale price index number of previous year divided by wholesale price index number of previous year multiplied by 100. We are actually given all these figures here. Wholesale price index number of current year is 165.7 and that of base year or previous year is 150.2. divided by same 150.2 multiplied by 100, we get 10.3196, which is 10.32. Therefore the rate of inflation is 10.32%. Okay, so for rate of inflation, if you want to calculate, you apply this formula and you can easily calculate it. This rate of inflation. And the last illustration is number 8. If the increase in the price relatives of three items are 250%, 265% and 300%, then if the ratio of the importance of these items is 8:7:5, find the general price index number. What we are given? Increase in price relatives of three items are given. Okay, and also the weight is given. Therefore what we do is, increase means 100 plus that increase. Okay, base year is always 100. Therefore if 250% increase is there, means 100 plus 250, it is 350. Index number of a item is 350. Weight is given as 8. Okay, then we can find out IW, multiply it, 2800. Similarly for B, the increase is 265%. So 100 plus 265 is 365. That is weight multiplied 2555. And for item C, you know how much is the increase? 300%. Therefore 100% is 400 and weight is 5. So IW is 2000. So 7355 is the value. So children, we have gone through all the questions. Of course the general index number here in this case we have to calculate as a general index number is sigma IW upon sigma W, which is equal to 67.75 when you divide 7355 by 20. Okay, and the difference is 267.75% in the prices in the current year as compared to the base year. Okay, so there is a rise in the general index number. Okay, and therefore this is how it is worked out. Now my dear students, I have given you and explained you all the topics coming in index number. I think most of them are covered. In case anything is there, you can just go through the textbook and read it and learn it. And of course if you have any queries, you are free to contact us anytime. So please do that. Now you are in a position to revise this chapter and work out sums. You have to do exercise 1 various types of questions. You know, this chapter carries 12 marks. Okay, and the very first section is of a multiple choice question, which is of 1 mark. Then next section is short answer question, again 1 mark. Then you have got 2 marks, then 3 and 5. Okay, and so there are total 12 marks available from this chapter for you in the exam, and you have to grab all the 12 marks. Okay, so from June to July we have worked for 12 marks. Once you work out all the questions, you will have a test paper. Okay, I will fix the date later on, but you be in preparation for the test and do well and do all your assignments in your notebook, and clear your doubts if any, and of course you can do well, and I am sure all of you can come off the board examination with flying colors. All the very best. Thank you.